For our case, we chose Diane. She is a 74-year-old woman who had a stroke in February of 2012. She has clear, fluent speech with some paraphasias. She has some difficulties with navigation, word recall, and memory, but she has good repetition and writing skills. She has no physical difficulties such as hemiparesis, and she enjoys painting and has 2 daughters.
During the impairment level, the clinician will introduce VSD to Diane and explain how it will help her during conversation with friends and family. Diane will bring in photos and explain their context to the clinician. The clinician will then write a series of statements and questions based on Diane's story. The clinician will read the dialogue back to Diane for approval and make any necessary changes. The clinician will then explain how to use VSD during conversation, and they will begin to practice. Hi Diane, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So today in therapy, we are going to make a visual scene display. Basically, it's going to be something that can help you when you're telling stories to your friends and family or having a conversation, because I know sometimes you don't say the correct word or you forget where you're going with a thought. So it'll just be kind of a way to prompt you. It's going to have pictures on it and a series of sentences, and it'll just kind of help you as you're telling the story in case you forget something or say the wrong word. So did you bring in any pictures?
Yes, I did. I have my paintings right here. I have my pictures right here.
Great. So why don't you pick one of those and tell me about it. Tell me who's in the photo. Tell me what's happening. And I'm going to take some notes and come up with a series of sentences that we could put on your VSD page.
Okay. Great. So I have this picture right here. This is a picture of me and my sister, Angela. I just love it. Not my sister. My daughter, Angela. She is such a sweetheart. We took one of those wine and painting classes.
Oh, really?
It was a blast.
Sounds fun.
So we were there. They gave us paints and an easel and toothbrushes. Not toothbrushes, paintbrushes. And we drank wine and ate cheese. We drank Merlot. Merlot is my favorite kind of beer. I just love it. And there was a very nice woman that helped us do it. And, it wasn't too hard. It was pretty easy, especially after my second glass of wine.
Oh, Diane. All right, so I see you also brought a picture of your final painting. What did you paint and how did you do it?
Oh, yes. Isn't it lovely?
Beautiful.
I painted a picture of a sunset on a beam. So you can see I used some red and orange for the sky and some blues and greens for the water.
Beautiful.
And I hung both of these paintings, mine and Angela's, in my home. I love to look at them every day.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right, well, I took some notes while you were talking, and I came up with some sentences. And I also have some questions in here so that when you're talking to someone, you can have some ideas of things you could ask them to have a conversation. Just some ideas for when you're having a conversation to prompt you. So I'm going to read them, and you let me know if there's anything you want to change. I went to a wine and painting class with my daughter, Angela. We drank Merlot and ate cheese. Do you like wine? We used an easel, paints, and paintbrushes. We painted a sunset on a beach. I used reds and oranges for the sun and blues and greens for the water. I hung both of our paintings in my house. Do you like to paint? So, are you good with everything I have written down?
Yes, those sound good.
Okay, well, we're going to practice using your VSD in therapy, and then eventually I'm hoping you can use it with your friends and family outside of therapy. Again, just as a sort of prompt or cue. And yeah, if you want to bring in more pictures, we can make additional pages, and you can talk about any theme that you would like, any story that you'd like to tell. Great. See you next time.
During the activity level, Diane uses VSD to tell the clinician about going to a wine and painting class with her daughter. Diane uses word and picture prompts from the VSD when needed. If a breakdown still occurs, the clinician will prompt her.
Okay, Diane. Well, today we are going to practice using your VSD. So I want you to go ahead and tell me the story. And if you're having trouble coming up with a word or you're not sure what you want to say next, remember to use the sentence strips and the pictures to help prompt you. If you're still having difficulty, I'll jump in and prompt you, but we want to try to have you tell it as independently as possible.
Okay.
So go ahead.
This is Diane's VSD page. As you can see, there are 2 contextually rich photos on the left and a series of sentences and questions on the right. Diane will use these pictures and sentences to prompt her during conversation.
All right, so like I said before, we went to a wine and painting class with my daughter, Angela, and we drank some Merlot and ate some chess. I mean, not chess. What was the word?
Remember to use your sentence strips.
Cheese, of course. Wine and cheese. Cheese is one of my favorite foods.
Me too.
Do you like beer?
I do like beer, but is that what you meant to say?
Do you like wine? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Do you like wine?
I do like wine. Pinot Grigio is my favorite.
Oh, no. I'm a red wine kind of girl. But anyways, we used an easel and paints and hairbrushes. Paintbrushes. We painted a sunset on a beach. You can see it right here. I used the reds and oranges for the sun and blues and greens for that water down there. And I hung both of my paintings in my home. I'd love to look at them. Do you like to paint?
I don't really like to paint too much. I like to draw.
I love drawing too.
Awesome.
Very fun.
All right, Diane, you did a really good job telling the story. I like how the first time you couldn't come up with a word, you weren't sure what to do and I had to prompt you, but then you learned from it, and the second time you made sure to look at your sentence strip to remember what word that you were supposed to say. So you did a really nice job, so we can keep practicing and you can do it with your friends and family.
During the participation level, Diane will use VSD to tell her friend Jerry about going on a picnic with her daughter. The clinician will not be present, and Diane will use VSD to support and prompt her as she speaks with Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey,
Thanks for meeting me for dinner this afternoon. I mean, lunch.
it's been a while.
It has been. I haven't seen you in so long. As you can see here, I have this new device with me. I've been going to speech therapy, and so basically it just helps me when I forget what I'm going to say or if I mix up my words. You know how I do that sometimes. Yeah. So you can see on here I have this picture of me and my daughter Angela.
This is a new VSD page that Diane made to describe a picnic that she went on with her daughter Angela.
You remember Angela, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. So we went to the park. We went to Burnett Woods. It was such a beautiful snowy day.
Wasn't it really warm?
It was beautiful sunny day. It was, see, that helped me. We went to the park and we sat by the lake. We ate ham and cheese sandwiches and we drank sweet tea. You know how much I love that sweet tea. I like it when it's extra sweet.
But not as sweet as you.
Jerry, you're so sweet. Have you ever been to Burnett Woods?
No, I haven't been to Burnett Woods, but I do have a few friends who go fishing there.
I've seen those fishermen there. Do you know any other parks in Cincinnati?
I know of Eden Park. It has a beautiful view.
Oh, maybe I can take my daughter Angela there one day. Thanks for having lunch with me today, Jerry.